This past September, Fender added a limited edition road warrant into the Vintera 2 line for Jazzmasters, Telecasters, and Strats, and these were a lot different for some of the older ones because they didn't all look like they had the same wear from the same exact sort of template. These just had a thin nitrocellulose finish on them with weather checking that's obvious when you get really close, but from far away, they don't look like they're totally mangled instruments. But what some people might not know is these weren't the first road warrants put into the Vintera 2 line. In late 2024, these guitars became available. I'm borrowing this from Zounds. This is a dealer exclusive model, Lake Placid Blue with the same sort of thin nitrocellulose finish with the light weather checking, but the specs of the neck are what really separate it from the current Vintera 2 road warrants because they're much more in line with what you would find on a Fender custom shop rather than an American vintage. And while there are only two specs that are different from what you'll find elsewhere in the limited edition road warrant Vintera 2s, they're deal breakers for a lot of players. Not me personally, but I know a lot of people that will not touch a guitar that has a 7¼ inch radius and vintage fret wire. This one has medium jumbo frets and a 9½ inch radius. For me, I could get along with both, so long as they're not narrow tall. I'm not a fan of that fret wire, but medium jumbo is a really nice in-between if you don't really dig the vintage size frets. Instead of spending any more time talking about the specs of this guitar, they're pretty easy to find on the internet, and I'll list some in the description for those who are curious about the particulars. I want to get right into playing this before I address the actual elephant in the room with this entire road warrant 2 line, and that is the price. For Mexican-made instruments, they're not exactly cheap, so are they actually going to be worth the money? Is it something that you should actually put on your radar? For the demo today, we're using the Fender Princeton Reverb. It's always a good match for a Stratocaster. We got it mic'd up by the Shure SM57 and a Warm Audio Fen-Tone ribbon mic. demo a lot of guitars in this channel, and I'll never really know from your perspective how well it's translating, whether or not I'm actually really digging playing the guitar during the demo samples, or if I'm kind of just going through the motions and maybe I'm a little bit lukewarm on it. But I feel like it was pretty obvious with this one. This is my favorite Mexican guitar that I've ever played, and it kind of annoys me because I'm borrowing it. I did have to do a lot of dialing in for this guitar to get it to be reliably stable as far as vibrato goes, but I do that with every Stratocaster. It doesn't matter if it's made in Indonesia, if it's made in Mexico, if it's made in Japan, or it's made in America. I'm setting it up myself first before, I do any sorts of demonstrations with the instrument. But this one really just nails the sweet spot. The sounds were fantastic, to be expected with the Princeton reverb, but the profile on this is just the quintessential Strat profile. It's 0.82 at the first fret, 0.97 at the 12th fret, but it doesn't have a whole ton of shoulder. It's one of those kind of like oval Cs from the 60s. It's to die for. If this is your sort of thing, it's a lot more comfortable and not as hefty as something like the American Originals. If that's something that's a little bit too big for you, this is going to be right up your alley. I love it. The fretwork was great on it, and I just love the way that this guitar sounded. I just couldn't put the thing down. It just played fantastic. All that's left is to give you my subjective opinion about the price and whether I think this is worth it or not. Honestly, yeah, not cheap. One of the most expensive Fender Mexico guitars that I've ever played, and honestly, it feels like it. It should feel this good, but there's a few things that bother me about this instrument, mainly two. Number one, why does this have a synthetic bone nut on it? The Squier Paranormal Offset Telecaster that I have, that has a bone nut. A guitar like this, especially one that has a vibrato, should have a bone nut on it. I don't like the fact that you have a plastic nut on a guitar that's just under $2,000. It's not a great look in my book. And the other thing is, this particular model of it released before the limited edition ones, and it didn't come with a hard shell case. This one comes with a gig bag. With that being said though, I think the fairest way for me to go about doing this is to compare it with the other Fender models that are available at a similar price. The American Professional Classic and the American Professional 2. With the American Professional Classic, you get a polyurethane finish. The neck is very, very different because it's got a modern C profile with a satin finish on the back of it. It's got the same synthetic bone nut, but that one measures in at 43 millimeters versus this one that is 42, and you get the same exact gig bag that this guitar comes with. The American Professional 2 has even more contemporary features. You have the sculpted heel, so you have better access to the upper frets. You have more modern electronics, both in how they're voiced, as well as the push-push capabilities that are available to you on them, and they come with a hard shell case, which I feel like any guitar around this kind of price point should come with a hard shell case. However, with that being said, if you were to ask me to pick between this guitar, the American Professional 2, or the American Professional Classic for myself, which one would I buy? It would be this one, and I wouldn't really put that much thought into it. Honestly, it's all down to the feel. It's all down to the feel. The feel of this neck is familiar to me. I play vintage spec Fenders. They're what I like. The fact that this has a nitrocellulose finish on it, even better. The fact that it's not from a template, so that every single guitar is going to look exactly the same, and that over time, this will age with me and how I play the guitar and be really unique in that sense. I love that. It's one of my favorite things about my American Vintage 65 Jazzmaster that I will never, ever, ever part with. I think that this is a really, really great guitar all around, and I think sometimes we get so focused on the prices of things, and I realize they are expensive, that we can kind of overlook something that we might find a perfect match for us. I feel like that's a really good place to end the video for today. However, it's not the only one we're going to be seeing this guitar in, because I got a guitar that I really want to compare it to in a future one. That's an actual Fender custom shop. Thank you for watching today's video. Feel free to leave questions, comments, and or concerns in the comment section down below. And if you want to pick up one of these guitars, there's an affiliate link to Zounds where you can get it in the description of this video. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Take it easy, everybody.